Spider-Man Homecoming is the latest movie in Marvel's ever-expanding cinematic universe. Directed by John Watts, Spider-Man Homecoming follows the story of Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, as he learns the ropes of being a superhero while juggling being in high school.
Does Liz get a new top?
No, we've seen that before. Never with that skirt.
Should probably stop staring before it gets creepy, though. Too late. You guys are losers.
I almost have two opinions on Spider-Man Homecoming. On one hand, I really had a good time watching this movie. I think it's a good action movie with some really, really good humor, a lot of good action sequences, and some very over-the-top characters. But on the other hand, the plot doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And here's why. As it's been explained to me, because I'm not a big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the introduction that we were given to this interpretation of Spider-Man in Captain America: Civil War was very, very brief. This movie drops you in after that's happened, but far enough after where there's almost no development for Spider-Man. And here's what I mean by this. I like getting to know the heroes that we are watching, who they are, what they stand for, what's going on in their life. Like, I want to connect with them. And I got no sense of connection whatsoever with this Spider-Man. I just thought he's just a kid, and we don't even know too much about him as a kid. Like, we just know he's got a crush on this senior, and this senior kind of likes him, kind of doesn't, and even then it's a really, really cliche romance. And there's just no sense of connection with him. But at the same time, as someone who liked Spider-Man as a kid, knows enough about Spider-Man, knows enough about the origin story, to some level, I didn't need it. Because I know who he is, I know enough about the backstory, where I could just get enough to be able to appreciate the ride for the most part. And for the most part, it's a fun story. There's enough of an interesting dynamic between Peter Parker and Tony Stark, once again played by Robert Downey Jr., of developing yourself as a superhero and understanding what you fight for. But again, it's almost never shown. We never get any semblance of what this guy fights for. He's just a kid swinging around, trying to save some people, and not doing a really good job of it. It's an origin story minus the origin, and I just personally don't think that that worked as well as they wanted it to.
What if somebody had died?
I was just trying to be like you.
I wanted you to be better. I'm gonna need the suit back.
But I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
Despite the problems that I had with the film's plot, there were a lot of legitimately good things in this movie. Michael Keaton plays the classic Spider-Man villain Vulture, and he is over-the-top fun. He's crazy, he's got this, like, he's just fun. He was legitimately a fun villain to watch in this movie. The action sequences are also really, really well done. It's over-the-top, but just realistic enough where you could feel that this could happen in some crazy universe. The other bright point in this movie is that the musical score is fantastic, including they replaced the usual Marvel opening credit sequence with the original Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man does. Or I don't know the actual lyrics, but they have that melody done to orchestra, and I was smiling ear to ear through that whole sequence.
Mr. Stark, here's my report for tonight. I stopped a Grand Theft bicycle. Hey, could you do me a favor? Hold on to that. Is this anybody's bike? Oh, I helped this old lady and she bought me a churro, so that was nice.
Despite its problems, Spider-Man Homecoming is a good movie. I think it has enough fun action sequences, good performances, and a really good soundtrack to warrant a viewing. A 4 out of 5.